Into the science of all this, how destructive the tornado's path was, and if we have any information about how powerful it was. Craig?
Thank you, Liz. Well, we're talking about a storm that reached 140-mile-per-hour winds at this point. This was the strongest part of the tornado that rolled through this section of Dwaynesburg on a 7-mile path of destruction. Today, we went with the National Weather Service out of Albany, whose job was to rate the strength of this tornado.
One thing I don't see is no trees that are bare.
Deciding how strong the tornado was that rolled through this area Thursday afternoon was the job of Steve DiRienzo and other personnel from the Albany National Weather Service office.
My driveway's down this way.
They're looking for indicators that'll give them information needed to classify the storm's strength.
We look at buildings and damage to structures. We look at, it's funny, but you'll see cars driving around with leaves that are plastered to all four sides of the car. And that infers that there was some kind of a circulation.
One thing that'll make this tornado a little more difficult to assess was its lack of visibility.
Unfortunately, no one we've seen said they actually saw the tornado. Apparently it was wrapped in very heavy rain and hail, and no one could visually see it.
So the job is left to inspect the entire damage path in order to come up with the proper rating. While tree damage is a given in any tornado, it's the damage to the structures that ultimately determine how high the winds got. When the National Weather Service goes out and does a damage survey, in order to rate a tornado, they have to see what kind of damage was done. Here's a section of roof from a house that was destroyed across the street, tossed a good couple of 100 yards away. With the information gathered, a final analysis will be done.
We have pictures. We're going to have to go back and I think we're going to discuss this with the folks sitting back at the office and get more opinion on what we've got here, because this is definitely the worst damage, but I'm not sure exactly what EF rating I want to go to yet. So.
And that final rating again in EF3, maximum winds here 140 miles per hour. Now the length of the storm did not have this same amount of damage. Wind speeds were lower. It was more of an EF0 and EF1 rating. So where we are, maximum occurrence of the damage. You can see lots of that roof strewn about me. Let's send it back into the studio now to Dory.